Hello, and welcome to LeftOverTime, the show about reheated food and NBA takes. On today's show, pancakes. And on the NBA side of things, 3 ways that NBA dynasties kind of sour. When you have milk that is just about to turn actually bad, where the smell is a little sour and you don't want to pour it over a bowl of cereal or dunk a cookie into it, it's time to make pancakes. When you are an NBA team who has achieved outrageous success for many years that include championships, you get termed a dynasty. Near decades of championship relevance leave fans in golden moods thinking the good times might never stop rolling. And then time, the spoiler of fun, health, and food, takes its toll and the upward trajectory goes as flat as a pancake. Frequently, teams are left with 2 paths forward. They may trade away the pillars of their franchise for young players and picks, known as a rebuild, or they might continue to commit to their tried and true players, hoping to wring out one more season for the history books. Some teams, though, try to have both. To start, the Bird-era Celtics. Larry Bird, alongside Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale, were the pillars of the 80s Celtics, a team who shared the championship limelight with their rivals, the LA Lakers. They were a dynasty-winning team, winning titles in 81, 84, and 86. And then Bird got hurt. The Celtics watched as the Detroit Pistons took their place atop the Eastern Conference for 3 seasons. In the meantime, the Celtics tried to be patient, waiting for Bird to recover from foot surgeries. In that time, they changed coaches twice, shifted their front office, and waived or traded away players like Danny Ainge and Dennis Johnson, guards who kept their opponents in check in years past. Starting the 90-91 season, Bird healthy, the Celtics came out of the gate in a sprint. Conversations around another championship were bandied about as back-to-back champion Pistons and the rising Jordan Bulls again took second billing. And then Bird got hurt again, this time his back. The Celtics struggled to string together wins but did well enough to qualify for the playoffs, where Larry, despite a bulging disc and in Game 5 a broken face, won in the first round only to be beaten again by the Detroit Pistons. Bird would retire a year later, McHale a year after that, and Parrish signed with the Charlotte Hornets a year after that. Each star leaving the Celtics with nothing but memories. It would be 21 years before the Celtics would reach the finals again. Next up, the post-Big Three OKC. Now, quick caveat here, the Oklahoma City Thunder never won a championship, so calling them a dynasty is kind of incorrect in some ways, but I think they are a great case for what a team can do when they need to reshape their roster. Now, when the Seattle Supersonics were purchased and moved to Oklahoma, despite assurances from former owner that it would not happen, they did so with a young core waiting to take the league by storm. After 1 year in the Midwest, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, along with new rookies James Harden and Serge Ibaka, went from 23 wins to 50 wins the following season, losing to the eventual champion Lakers in the playoffs, a young dynasty in the making. 2 years later, and the Thunder were in the finals, where they lost to the Miami Heat, after which the lurking bill for a team with as much talent as the Thunder had loomed. Rather than pay out everyone, the Thunder traded Harden to the Houston Rockets and soldiered on with Durant and Westbrook, making 2 more conference finals, Durant winning the MVP in 2014, but never again reaching the finals with the Thunder. In the 2016-2017 season, Durant left for the Golden State Warriors, where he would win 2 championships in a row. That same year, Westbrook would win the MVP, and Harden would win the MVP the following year, while Durant was winning finals MVPs. After 2 more seasons that saw the Thunder acquire Paul George to pair with Westbrook, general manager Sam Presti hit the reset button hard. Out went both George and Westbrook to LA and Houston. In were a bevy of picks and young players. Presti continued to wheel and deal until the Thunder had collected near over a dozen future first-round picks and a core of promising young players led by All-NBA guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They failed to win it all when they had 3 future MVPs, but have positioned themselves well for another decade of contention. Finally, the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors dynasty started in 2009 when they selected the NBA's greatest shooter thus far, Steph Curry. 2 years later, they selected Klay Thompson, a year later, and Draymond Green was on the roster. It would be 3 more years until the pieces were finally assembled in the right order alongside Andre Iguodala and new head coach Steve Kerr. In 2015, though, the Warriors defeated the Cavaliers for their first NBA championship since the 70s. The next year, they would win 73 regular season games, an NBA record, only to lose in the finals against the Cavs in Game 7, a loss that had them doubled over as if they had been kicked in the groin. The following year, the Warriors signed Kevin Durant and rattled off 2 more championships, both against the Cavaliers. The following year, rifts started to appear. They again made it to the finals only to lose both Durant and Thompson to injuries that would keep them out full seasons. Durant would leave in the offseason in a sign and trade with Brooklyn for D'Angelo Russell. During this downtime, the Warriors spent 2 years in the NBA cellar while all their stars recovered from the wear and tear of 5 straight finals appearances. In the meantime, the Warriors hatched a plan of 2 timelines. Out would go Russell for Andrew Wiggins and a first-round pick, and after having the worst record in the league, they won the 2nd overall pick in the draft. In came rookies James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, and Moses Moody, joining the young second timeline core of Wiggins and Jordan Poole. Most importantly, though, 2 seasons without postseason play gave the core starters time to rest and heal. In 2022, the Warriors would win the championship again, this time against the Boston Celtics. The parade and celebrations, however, did not make it to the start of the next season. The 2 timelines would not be easily bridged. Friction became actual fisticuffs. Now, while head coach Steve Kerr continues to overfavor the veterans and the ugly signs of aging talent become more and more apparent, where it goes has yet to be written.
Before you go too far or skip ahead or whatever you do when you think ads are coming at you, if you could take some time, follow, like, subscribe, anything you could do to help the channel, always appreciated. Leave a comment below if you like what you see. Leave a comment below if you don't like what you see and what you'd like to see more of. If you disagree with what I selected or picked in here, tell me what you would pick instead. I'd love to keep the discussion going.
Whisk together the dry ingredients in a bowl and set aside. Combine the wet ingredients in a bowl and whisk until homogenous. Slowly, very slowly, mix the dry and wet ingredients. Don't overmix. Lumpy batter is okay. No end of an era looks good until the next one comes into shape. Heat a skillet or non-stick pan. Place a pad of butter into the pan. Realize that you set the pan too high of heat, and turn that down a little bit. Pour out the sacrificial first pancake and cook until done, cooking for about 90 seconds on the first side until you see bubbles form on the top, and then flipping and cooking for another minute. Once the sacrificial pancake is done, dollop out about a quarter cup of pancake batter as many times as will fit. Cook for 90 seconds or until bubbles form on the top. Then flip and cook for a minute. Remove onto a plate until all batter is cooked. Plate up a stack, dab with butter, add some fresh or recently thawed fruit, and drizzle on some maple syrup. Tastes pretty good.